Hello, I hope you are doing well. This is my final e-portfolio that I made for the year. I'm going to start off by showing you the. I just kept my self-introduction page from the last one because I think it's always good to have an introduction page on your portfolios. And then I listed the essays in the order of which they were um, on the final e-portfolio assignment where you said you wanted us to broke it down. I listed it by diversity, diversity, knowledge, research, learning goal, roles, and message essay. And then at the end of that, I put my semester reflection essay as well. Um, for me, I would say the learning goal that I definitely felt like I connected with the most was the roles learning goal essay. And that's because I was able to take some time to go back and look at an assignment that I did from an old class where we had to talk about kind of like our upbringing and like how gender roles play into society, and it was interesting. So I'll just read a little bit of that for you. I said gender roles even apply in jobs that we all do today. A good example of this is that traditionally it's been seen that men are doctors and women are nurses. That has changed a lot over time. You now have women who are amazing doctors and men who are amazing nurses. The gender of someone should never determine what kind of work they should do. They should be judged by the quality of work and effort they put into their jobs. And that was like kind of the most important one that I took away from this class, because I do think it's important that we stop putting labels on people, especially something like gender. That shouldn't determine what someone's able to do and what they're not able to do. So yeah, that was that. And then I took some time to go over my semester reflection essay. And the things that I took away the most from this class is how, for a long time, I was really hating taking online classes because I just felt like I was doing a whole bunch of work trying to meet deadlines. And I felt like a robot. I didn't feel like I was learning a lot. But by having to go back and look at all of the old assignments that I had done in class, I was able to kind of just sit down and actually take some of that stuff in a different way. Because I was no longer meeting the deadline. I was actually reading over the work I had done. It was pretty good work. So this class, taking these classes online has shown me that it wasn't a waste of time doing that, because I still was able to get my credits and stuff. But I know that I am a person who needs to have that human interaction. I learn a lot better when I'm on campus in person. I just have more fun doing it that way. I enjoy learning that way, which is why I'm excited to be going on campus next semester. So while I do appreciate this opportunity to be able to take classes online from home, I'm really happy that I'll be on campus next semester. And then I went ahead and I made did a little research on what goes into my career I want to do, which is a sports journalist slash reporter. Um, and on the website that I read off of it, some of the things it said is that it's highly competitive. The income can vary. Flexibility is key. You need to be able to multitask. You need to manage stress, and you need to cover more than one sport. And the things I took away from those topics that the guy listed is that being able to cover more than one sport, you are more. What's the word? You have more that you have more to offer by being able to do that. So compared to someone who only knows basketball or only knows football, they can only do work in those sports. But if you're someone who covers basketball, football, baseball, soccer, hockey, whatever it is, you are able to help out in more ways than just one. So that's always good. Um, the stress thing, a lot of times being a journalist or a reporter, you make a report and you're going to get a lot of criticism on that, a lot of negative criticism. People can be very rude. That's just how the world works. So one of the things he said you have to learn to do is kind of just like move past that. Don't let what they say get to you. Develop a thick skin, that sort of thing. Being able to multitask. You will have to cover more than one story at a time, because just like news is something that's always going really fast. There's always going to be news. There's always updates, and that's not even just in sports. That's with all news really. It's constantly something else happening in the world. So you have to be able to cover more than one story at a time, and that's where the managing your stress comes into play, because that can get to be a stressful thing. Flexibility is key, because sports journalism, it's not like an office job, like a typical 9 to 5 where you're sitting there in the office throughout the day. You're more so like hands on with your work, and you're out in the community, that sort of thing. Your income can vary. Most big companies. So, for example, like if you are a sports journalist, I'll say for the local news station here, like TMJ4 or Fox, you are going to start at like a interest level pay, and you're able to work your way up. And it's really up to you how much money you want to make, because it's what you put in is what you get out of it, that sort of thing. And then yes, it is a very competitive field, because there are so many people who do sports journalism online, and that's where it gets to be competitive, because why should people want to come and read your news stories over someone else's? What makes you stand out? So you have to be creative, you have to be unique, that sort of thing. So that's why I'm looking forward to taking internships this next semester coming up, so I can start practicing this more and more, and really see if this is something that I want to do, or if I want to use my major towards something else. But for the most part, I do think this is what I want to do. I'm just really interested to go ahead and start doing that, doing those internships and getting that experience under my belt. But yeah, that's really what I took away from this semester the most was that I am better learning in person. I get more from that than I do online, and that the roles learner goal was the most important one to me overall. And then I learned a lot from all of these essays that we did, but that's just the one that stuck out to me the most. That is going to be my portfolio presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch it, and enjoy the rest of your day.